Curzio here with another live update for you. It is Friday. The markets were up a little bit. Now they're starting to sell off. Just think it's very, very dangerous market conditions still, guys. I really think that most people don't know what we're in for, where the total economy is going to be shut down, lots of layoffs, lots of bankruptcies. I don't think this is really factored into stocks right now. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Disney because Disney relates to the whole market. It's nothing personal about Disney. Again, we've been short this for a long time. So we short at 140 just for the streaming purposes. And then we got a little lucky because of everything that's going on. It really tanked. So now it's in the 90s. And I've been arguing that we need to shut the stock market because all we're going to have is negative news. Nothing's open. There's nothing positive going to come of anything. The president's going to have to come in and bail out a different industry every single, almost every single day, but every other day or whatever, what he's doing now, and announce new measures to backstop whatever it is, today's student debt and all this stuff. But companies are saying that they're going to pay their people and we'll see what happens after 2 weeks. You're not generating any revenue. Your biggest expense is paying people, is salaries. How are you going to pay people if you're not generating revenue? A lot of these stores are completely closed. So I don't think people understand the impact that's going to happen. And I know we're down 30% already. Most of our people are on the sidelines, which is very good. And they're in cash and they're asking me if they should get back in. I'm telling them no. Let's get to Disney. And here's why. Again, nothing personal against Disney. So Disney took out a ton of debt, right? Almost for the first time in that company's, not history, but maybe in the last 20, 30 years, where they were highly leveraged, Disney. They bought Fox's Entertainment Assets for $70 billion. That was 25% of their market cap at the time. And they have a lot of debt on it. So they have $45 billion in net debt. So they have a $7.5 billion payment due this year. Not a big deal because they're going to generate $5.5 billion in free cash flow. Now they're not. I mean, they're lucky if they generate $1 billion or $2 billion, if they're lucky. But let's look at Disney. There's certain companies like Microsoft that aren't. They're going to be impacted, not as much though. You're going to buy office products, lots done online. We're seeing, Walmart do well. We're seeing Amazon do well. Listen, Disney's in one of the worst case scenarios here. I mean, so what do they have? They have park attendance, right? Their parks are closed. That's done. Pretty much, I would say through mid-August, mid-April, even though they're saying that they're going to try to open in early April. You have ESPN, which is already declining, but there's no live sports. And they generate at least $1.5 billion off the NBA alone with the playoffs coming in. Nothing, no sports, gone, no revenue there. You're looking at movie studios. Mulan's supposed to launch. They push that back. Are people going to go to theaters to see this? And then you're looking at a company that spent all this money to get into streaming, which is a business that has no pricing power. Not one company in the world showed that they can make money on this yet. And they went all in on it. And people are excited because they have 25 million, 26 million subscribers. Well, let's say if you double that to 50 million, $5 each, that's, $250 million. That's not even the price of what it costs to make Mulan. So you're looking at all the numbers here when I go through them. It's a company, again, it's supposed to generate about $5.5 billion free cash flow. That's done. They're not going to generate that. So it's going to be a lot less. When I look at the numbers, they have $6 billion in cash on their balance sheet, which is fine. I would put that number more like $2.5 billion in free cash flow this year. That's very, very aggressive, considering almost everything they do is closed. And you have a $7.5 billion payment due this year. Okay, so that's $9 billion, right? And then you're looking at a $7.5 billion, but they also pay $3 billion in dividends. So they're either going to have to suspend their dividend, all right? And it's not their fault, and I'm not picking on them, but this is what every company, the position that they're going to be in. They're going to have to get rid of their dividend. They're going to have to preserve cash. They're no longer buying back stock at all, especially with the president made that clear. If he's giving them money, you're not buying back stock at all. You can't use that to buy back your stock. I'm not saying holding up a lot of these stocks, but the buybacks have been in the trillions. I mean, you're looking at the trillions in the past 6, 7 years, record buybacks, inflating these earnings. And that's what the market wants to see, high earnings. I get it. So that's a lot of support that's moving out. So there's no support under these stocks. And when you look at the debt that Disney has, you're like, Disney really going to go down further from here? It was 140 and it's 90. I mean, how are they going to make the debt payments if they're not generating revenue? And they're saying, well, we're going to pay our employees. You notice how companies like JP Morgan came out and said they're paying their employees because they have a good balance sheet. I believe Amazon said something similar, as well as Walmart. And a lot of those companies are hiring. You're not going to hear that out of Disney, that, we're going to pay your employees. No, they're not going to pay the employees. They're going to lay all these people off. They have to. So they have to preserve capital right now. But this is what you need to look at in the markets, guys, because these stocks are not generating revenue. If you're not generating revenue, how do you pay your bills? How do you pay everything? So then you got to look at your debt structure. This is the first time in decades, at least 20, 30 years, Disney has been a leveraged company. They went all in on streaming, which is why I shorted the stock, because no one makes money on streaming and your whole business model is tied around it. Now you shut off everything else in your business, and you just paid a fortune for this. So those debt payments are going to come up. I don't know how they're going to handle this if this goes on for 2 to 3 months. That's not even factored in. No one's thinking about that. But you're shutting down the entire economy. This is one of the reasons why I say you have to shut down the stock market. I know it's crazy. I know it's hard to do, but people are going to be sitting home and all they're going to see is bad news, more cases. They're going to see those kids on the beach hanging out and why they're going to give it to everybody. You're going to see cases explode because we just started testing. You're going to see layoffs explode. We could hit 15% on unemployment easily. I mean, again, nobody's doing anything. All restaurants, all bars, everything's closed. Everything's closed. So they're gonna probably announce, I would say, Monday, Tuesday, a full closure of everything when it comes to our states. Europe's closed as well, and Europe is terrible. Europe is 10 times worse than we are. Their banks aren't even fully capitalized. Guys, a lot of risk here, man. A lot of risk. Be careful. And just a good example is Disney. It's not like I have anything personal against it. Yes, we did well on a short. We got a little bit lucky with having coronavirus. It really, really fell down. But what are they going to do now? No revenue coming in, huge debt payments, and you have to pay a dividend. They're probably going to suspend the dividend. Disney's one of hundreds of companies within the SP 500 that are in the same boat. Forget about the G's, forget about the Fords, the leverage companies. They were coming back, but now you just shut off their revenue. Now they have to pay their debt. What are they going to do? That's why all these industries are going to be asking for a bailout as we go forward over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. You're going to keep the market open, but the economy is closed. So what are you going to see? Bad news on top of bad news on top of bad news. People are going to get scared, and you're going to see 401ks and retirement accounts sell out. I don't think we're done here. I hope I'm 100% wrong on this. Again, we've been right for a while. I'm hoping I'm wrong on this. But the way I see it is we got a lot more pain ahead. We're shutting down the economy. Nothing like this has ever happened. So, guys, be careful. If you're on the sidelines, stay in cash. Don't try to be a hero here. Again, stocks are moving 20, 25% in either direction over the past 3, 4 days. That's a sign that this market is not healthy. So be very, very, very careful, especially your mom and pop investor. If you're a trader, go have fun, knock yourself out. But I'll report back to you guys soon. Again, if you want to see this, you could watch it right now, but also all the videos that I do in every place. I'm starting to do a lot, and we're putting it on a Curzio Research YouTube page. So be sure to see us there. And if you have any questions or comments, as always, I'm here for you. Frank at CurzioResearch.com. And I'll report back to you guys soon. Take care.